Now we're going to be looking at our question. We're going to be looking at our questions. This is government. Government is divided into two sections. Elements of government. In elements of government, you have question 1 to 5. So the first one says, what is political socialization? What is political socialization? You can see the definition. And it says it is a process through which an individual acquires a set of political attitude. You know the definition. Now, this question is 3 marks. This question fully explained. The definition is 3 marks if it is fully explained. Number 1B is for 12 marks. Now, it says identify 4 features of a state. Now, a state is different from a nation. Don't forget that. A state is different from a nation. Can you remember your features? The features of a state. It has a common language. It has a common ancestry, origin, descent, common belief, patriotism, oneness. But a state, in fact, a state, let me give you an example of a state. You have the Yoruba nation. That is what we are talking about here. The Yoruba nation, the Igbo nation, the Tiv nation, the Igala nation, the Hausa nation. That is what we mean here. They have a common language, common culture, ancestry. Then when we talk about a state must have a geography, must have population. A state must have population. A state must be sovereign. A state must what? Be sovereign. A state must have government. It must have a government, a functional government. So please take note. I just gave you 3 features of a state compared to the features of a nation. Question 2, highlight 5 features of federalism. What is federalism? These are the things. It says there are 2 levels of government. You have the central or federal authority and the component states. And the component states or the constituent units. Division of powers. In a federal system, powers is being shared by the federal government and the component states. Take note of this. It has a rigid constitution. Nigeria practices federalism. Nigeria practices federalism. Supremacy of the constitution. The constitution is supreme in a federal state. Independence of the judiciary. The judiciary remains the last hope of the common man. The last hope of the common man. So this question is for 15 marks. Each point fully explained is 3 marks. Mere mentioning, 1 mark. Fully explained points, 3 marks. Mere mentioning, 1 mark. 1 mark. Question 3. What is public corporation? Remember, public corporation is a government, a business enterprise. Is it not? To provide essential services. It is formed by an act of parliament using the taxpayers' money, managed by the government, managed by the government using the taxpayers' money. So you need to take note of this. It said, look at it, to provide essential services to the public at a reduced cost. The essence of public corporation is to provide essential service. It's not for profit making. And it is through the taxpayers' money. It is managed and supervised by the government using the taxpayers' money. So what do we have? It says identified. Now this question 3A is 3 marks. Definition, correct definition, fully explained, 3 marks. The remaining 4 points, each fully explained, is 3 marks each. 3 marks each. Take note of this. Identify 4 ways in which the public corporations are controlled. Public corporations are controlled. Remember, if you remember what you learned in your SS2 first term, we talked You talk about financial control, judicial control, name them. So these are the things we are talking about. 4. This question is for 15 marks. Each fully explained point is 3 marks. Outline 5 ways in which public opinion is measured. We can go through, use election, opinion polls, personal contact, mass media, activities of pressure groups. You know the pressure groups, NUJ, NUT, NLC, TUC, they are all pressure groups. They are all pressure groups. Number 5, explain 5 measures, 5 means of safeguarding rights of citizens. Explain 5 means of safeguarding rights of citizens. The first one says entrenchment of fundamental human rights in the Constitution. In the Constitution, you have the rights of members of the citizens entrenched in it. A free and independent press, freedom of the press, strengthening the capacity of human rights defenders and national human rights institutions. You have the Ombudsman. You know the Ombudsman? Public Complaints Commission. Yes, Public Complaints Commission. That's the Ombudsman, where cases of injustice, maladministration can be reported. So Ombudsman, take note. An independent and impartial judiciary, whereby the judiciary can carry out judgment without fear or favor. I said it, I said the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Take note of this, okay? Respect for international laws and conventions. All right, let's go to the next question. Identify 5 challenges faced by the United Nations. Identify 5 challenges faced by the United Nations. You are expected to explain. You are expected to explain threats to human security, poverty, disease, and environmental degradation. Remember when COVID broke out, Ebola broke out, it was a source of concern. COVID was a world problem. You remember what it did 5 years ago. Violence and mass human rights violations. We can see it happening everywhere in the world. Killings, shootings. So these are problems the UN is going through. Conflicts among member states in certain regions. You can see the issue of Israel and Palestine. It has been there for ages, over Golan Heights. It's still existing. Battles are still going on. So these are issues. Civil wars and genocide. Remember the Rwanda genocide of 1994, April 8th. You remember what happened. So issues of genocide, civil wars, the Gulf War, several wars that has happened in Africa and other parts of the world. These are issues and challenges the UN is going through. 7. Yes, they highlight 5 differences between the Crown Colony and the Protectorate. This question was not really answered by students because they didn't understand what they were talking about. Now, let's look at the Crown Colony. The Crown Colony was a form of direct control by a foreign power, while the Protectorate were governed indirectly. The Protectorate is what we have. Yes, what we have. Remember the amalgamation of the Northern and Southern Protectorate. They were governed indirectly using what? Traditional rulers. Traditional rulers. So take note of these. All the activities of the Crown Colony were controlled by the sovereign country, whilst the Protectorate received only protection and acted what? Independently. So in the Protectorate, there is like a supervisory role that goes on here. An act of parliament created a Crown Colony, while a Protectorate was established by treaties and agreements and what? Proclamation. Let's go to the next question. List 3 political leaders, parties, and their leaders who contested the 1979 presidential elections in Nigeria. We have the NPNP, Alhaji Shehu Shagari. We have the UPN, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The NPP, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The People's Redemption Party, Alhaji Aminu Kano. The Great Nigerian People's Party, Alhaji Waziri Ibrahim. This question is for 12 marks. Highlight 3 failures of political parties in Nigeria since independence. We know, let's look. It says the parties do not have a national outlook. It does not have what? A national outlook. That is a major problem. You can hear a political party, you'll say, oh, this is a northern party. Oh, this is it for the southeast. This is for, so it doesn't have what? A national outlook. The parties fail to promote unity and harmony. This is another problem. Let's look at another. Corruption among high-ranking leaders of the political parties. So this is a problem. Now, what you are expected to do, you are expected to give detailed explanation. Give detailed explanation. Don't just list. Don't just write a one-line answer. No. Explain better what they, that's the only way you can get your full 12 marks here. Question 9. Highlight 9 weaknesses of the 1999 Constitution. That is the Constitution that we have been using. This is the 26th year of the 1999 Constitution. The 1999 Constitution came into existence in May 1999. Take note of this. So, this is the Constitution that has been existing till date. It was put together by the military government. Number 1, too much power given to the federal government. That is one of the issues, the challenges of the 1999 Constitution. The system of the local government administration, funding, creation, and autonomy. This is another issue. Then, indigenship crisis is an issue. Revenue and fiscal allocation. So what you are expected to explain each of these points in details. 3 marks for each fully explained point. 3 marks for each fully explained point. Question 10. List 3 features of the Igbo traditional political system. Now, this is a question that has to do with pre-colonial administration in Igbo land. Now, remember that the Igbo had what we call acephalous or stateless administration. They ruled, their own administration was based in segments. They ruled in segments. They didn't have a single autonomy or authority representing them as a king or what. They had a village republic, village assembly, and all that. So now let's look at this. The Igbo political system was segmented/fragmented in fragments, in clusters. That is what they are talking about. There was decentralization of power. There's no one person, we don't have a single authority that will say, okay, this is the king. So power was decentralized amongst members of the community. Democratic principles were upheld, talking about the village republic, the village assembly, as every Igbo participated in governance processes. Succession was not by hereditary. So I need you to read up, explain in details. I need you to explain in details. Let's look at the B part. Identify 4 democratic tenets of the Igbo traditional political system. Powers were governed by the consent. Now, this question, you need to also give detailed information. All right, we are done with that. This question is a topic that came out in WAEC. I think WAEC 2022, it says, what is e-government? Students didn't really answer this question properly. Now, let's read the definition. It says, it is the deployment of information and communication technology to government functions and procedures with the purpose of increasing efficiency, transparency, and citizens' participation. An example of e-government, you can mention things like the JAM, government offices, trying to introduce IT to carry out day-to-day functions. So please, I need you to take note of this question. Okay, let's look at the B part of it. It says, explain 5 benefits Nigeria stands to gain in adopting e-government. It says, allow the use of ICT in both policy formation and decision making. Boost interactions between business and industry. Offer better service delivery. Now, you have things like the RRR and all that. Service delivery to citizens. Better accessibility to public service, and so on. I need you to read up on this. Take time and study. This is a new topic in government. So I need you to study it as you're preparing to write your exams. These are the things I expect you to study. Like I said earlier on, it's a new topic. Read up, read ahead. And we've come to the end of our class. I need you to study. I wish you the best in your exams. Know how to handle tricky questions. And remember that the mark accrued to each question, examiners follow them strictly. Where you are expected to give detailed information, please do that. Wishing you success and thank you. Bye-bye.